Okay, guys, so right now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna quickly uh, show you how to use local LLM. So we're gonna go walk through the local LLM, so this way you don't have to spend any money on like all sorts of models out there. So this way you could run them locally. So I'm gonna be using LM Studio to get this up and running. So LM Studio is one of those great tools that you could download for free, and it's basically it has open source like a CLI library, and you could just install it. It's this is what it looks like, your local AI toolkit. So you could download and run Llama, DeepSeek, Mistral, Pi on your computer, and this is what it looks like. And this is what it basically exposes to a little kind of a REST API endpoint externally. So this way you could interface with it and don't have to spend money on the API request, all sorts of API requests. This is just what it looks like. You just install the SDK using pip, and you pretty much just load a couple of extra tools and you got good to go. So it does not LM Studio does not collect any data. That's one of the main reasons using local LLM is going to be perfect for you. You could have your own RAG directly on your computer that you could interface with those models without spending extra money on doing any kind of request calls. And you can run different types of models. You can run any compatible language models from Hugging Face, like Llama, MLX for Mac, and you can run text embedding models. And some models might not be supported, while others might be too large. But uh, they're coming out with more models, even with some image generations, even though it says image generation not supported, but there's a latest embedding image generation model that is already in there, which you could leverage. And it's pretty dope because now you don't have to spend money on running all those tools. You could run them directly on your computer. So is this open source? LM GUI app is not open source. However, LM Studio CLI, LMS Core SDK, all of that is open sourced. So LM Studio makes it easy to use leading open source libraries such as Llama, CPPP without needing the know-how to compile or integrate them. So what is Llama? Llama is a fantastic open source library that provides a powerful and efficient way to run LLMs on edge devices. It was created and led by Georgie, and LM Studio leverages LLM Llama's CPP to run on Windows, etc. So um, the bottom line is how do we pull this off? So when it comes to any kind of anything that I do, specifically in terms of running N8N or any other kind of workflows when I'm working on automations, obviously the first thing I do is I ask a question like, okay, how can I implement this? And this information for this particular lab studio is not exactly in ChatGPT. Sometimes those libraries are not even crawlable. So what I typically do, I go to like whatever the site that is, and I just pop in those URLs inside of the RAG tool. And this is just I'm going to show you in a minute. So this is the RAG tool over here. Um, Let me go ahead and show it to you. Here's a RAG scraper. So what I did, I just popped them in, all of the URLs from the documentation side for LM Studio, and then I'm just going to hit scrape. So it's going to scrape. It's running in the background. It's scraping. If you guys are interested in, and I'm using GPT-4o Mini right now. Later on, I should probably switch it to the new local model so it runs locally. But you could have different types of model, DeepSeek, etc., and hit the ground running. So this way, after it finishes loading, you'll be able to interface directly in a chat room, uh, specifically with this information for LM Studios. So while it's running, we go back to LM Studios, and of course, what I'll do is I'll kind of show to more details, more information about the documentation. So if you click on documentation, here's all of this documentation. And what I did is I just kind of quickly clicked on CLI reference guide. I copied this and I just popped that into this RAG. So this RAG is still scripting. It's scraping and embedding on the back end. It's running a little kind of a software. So this is a Streamlit software, and you could get access to this little software. It's kind of running in the background, as you can see. Yeah, I'm using Superbase, and I'm using embedding, vector-based embedding, to pretty much grab information, send it into Superbase database, and it embeds everything. So it uses kind of vector store database to compare the results. So the way it works is you take this information. So on the back end, it uses crawl library, and it uses basically it just scrapes those sites, and even on deep level like layer that ChatGPT cannot, OpenAI cannot, because uh, sometimes some of those sites they have robot.txt that would block access to scraping. But doing this way, it kind of feeds everything into your brain, and you can interface with it to kind of do whatever this project that you're trying to do. So if in this particular case, I'm trying to install this LM Studio and I don't know much about it, the first thing I do is I populate my brain. And now I could say, what is LM Studio? And now I could kind of look into this and see what kind of chunk of embedding it finds. So look, LM Studio is a platform that allows users to run various large language models. So this is, everything is inside of this brain automatically here, and I could kind of click on it. I could download. I could kind of not worry about any information. I could look at the model catalog. I could say, okay, uh, how do I install it? For example, I could say how to install it. I could be searching for that directly on the site, but it says go to Discover tab to choose the download models, either from curated options by using search query, Llama. More information, download models can be found here. So navigate to the chat tab uh, and open the models, load or select one of the downloaded models, and optionally choose load configuration. So once the model is loaded, you can start chatting in the tab. So I could say, okay, show me once I install it. Once I install it, how do I interact with it? Keep something in mind. It shows like tokens, total cost for so far from OpenAI. So this way you don't burn through them. Now, once you have installed LLM Studio, you can load the model to chat. Okay, show me. So open the model loader, select the model you downloaded. Show me some examples of how do I access the model. So let's see if it's going to be able to figure that out. Uh, so, okay, the provided text appears to be the list topic section related to accessing the model. Does not include specific example of details under each of those headings. So local models on the machine, native tools used, unload models. Okay, so what is unload? What is um what is what kind of models? What kind of local models on the machine I can run? So let's see if it finds something, and keep something in mind. I could have missed some URL, maybe not. But look, local models on machines you can run. Open source models are open weight models, which are accessed by downloading their weights, often distributed as files, ending in this. List the currently downloaded models. Uh, the instruction of context to list currently loaded models are not provided. So we could say, okay, how about, what if I have memory issues? I could say, well, memory, once I load the model, once I load the model, will memory still be preserved? Preserved, even though even though it's not in use? So I could ask questions like this and see, here's extracted information. Local models of machine. The information regarding this is not specifically provided in the text. The information regarding this is not provided in text. You can load models by going to chat tab. So as you can see, there's limited information because I only placed limited information inside of here. So I could go kind of explore the documentation a little bit more. So I could go ahead and load the memory into the model and take a look at like install, click on the link. The good part about it, it shows the link. It shows the download LM Studio. I could go ahead and experiment with LLM on a computer. Uh, and over here, I could just hit download. It's going to download this. And now I'm going to be able to extract information out of it. Okay, so I'm kind of doing this in parallel. It's all happening. So show me some examples. So let's see if it's gonna show me some examples. Examples, yes, examples using Python. So let's see if it's gonna do that, and it's kind of doing it. So there we go, example of using Python. So I need to import LM Studio. I need to create a model. I need to do this, print results. Okay, and example of to download it. To download the Llama 3.2 model, you don't if you don't have it, you could do this. So that's cool. So this example uses inner conven uh, interactive convenience API, which is useful for quick interactions within a Python prompt to, or Jupyter notebooks to manage resources deterministically consider the scoped resource API, which uses context managers for resource manager. Okay, so the bottom line is I think it's downloaded. Now I could go ahead and open that up and install that real quick. And once I install it, it's going to be good to go. Uh, this is kind of going to LM Studio. Now everything is being quickly installed. And I think I have a little script that I could run directly and create it like in a container. Speaking of containers, guys, if you wanted to get Docker set up, try to get Docker set up. It's also free on your computer. So this way you could interface directly with your N8N model, like N8N tool, with your Docker. So this way you don't have to spend money on hosting anything on for N8N, and you could just use it on your computer. So anyway, I'm gonna quickly run the LM Studio real quick, hit the ground running, and of course, once you get a sense of how tool works on the UI interface, you could always use it on the CLI from the CLI perspective and make things just easier. That's what I typically do. I never try to just explore things in CLI without understanding how it looks like on the UI. So the experiment and develop LLM locally on your computer. So get your first LLM. Okay, so download. So there's this. So there's a couple of them. There's a um, start with the state-of-the-art logical reasoning model, DeepSeek R1, distilled into Qwen 7B, powerful reasoning model. Okay, so we're just gonna download this thing. It's gonna run for 4.5 gigabytes. But the idea here, guys, is you're getting runs like Llama, Mistral, Pi, DeepSeek. You use the chat UI or the local OpenAI like a development server. Structured output can enforce specific JSON schemas on LLM output. So right now we're just kind of downloading, supports loading multiple simultaneous models, starts with a state-of-the-art logical reasoning, a local reasoning model. So lots of different bells and whistles, and then it says, don't want to wait, explore the app while downloading the in process. So enable local LLM service on logging. So this is when the computer starts, it will be loaded right away. So that is pretty cool. I could skip onboarding if I want to, but I could just go ahead and explore while it's downloading this kind of app. I'm exploring and seeing, I don't know, this is the first time I'm loading it, so I'm exploring it together with you guys and seeing how this thing works. The idea here is to take those, whatever the endpoint APIs. So the same way when you go to OpenAI and you try to get like a little URL that you can interface with, the same way you kind of get the key, the same way you could interface through the REST API, you will be able to do the same thing with this LM Studio. So that's pretty cool. And of course, guys, if you wanted to learn how to do this RAG that could kind of do the same exact thing what I just showed and switch to different models and use all sorts of different models and kind of help you accelerate your research and be able to scrape whatever the URLs when you're working on individual projects, then all you got to do is just go to my bio link. And what I do is I have this threads bots rag. Um, So if you go to buy a link, you will see all this info. You'll see ThreadsBots RAG. So click on ThreadsBots RAG and basically uh, download this pill. Get this. You could put like 0, or if you want to buy me coffee, feel free to do so. Either or, you could get this. It's absolutely free, and I walk you through the entire process for how to get this thing set up on your computer, your own personal brain, your own kind of you get basically like a zip file and instructions specifically for how to set this up, how to set up the entire process. So in order for you to do this, and it literally shows you in Let's Get Started step how to do it, how to set up your super base, how to get this thing going up and running, and yeah, it's going to be very easy for you to set it up. I could also kind of quickly show it to you. Let me just log in, and while kind of I'm loading this stuff in, I'm gonna kind of search for uh, threads bots rag, how to build your own threads bots. So this is kind of a this is the best way I could kind of show to you how you could kind of build everything together, including your threads bots agents. So the idea is you want to have like a bunch of agents sitting there and running on your computer and doing things for you, like getting leads, um, having your kind of threads bot running in either an Oracle container, which is free, or you could run it on your computer on Docker. But the idea here is you want to have some sort of an agent that goes out, hunts for the ideal customer profile, comes back to you with a lead, and have a probability score in Slack channel saying, hey, I got the lead for you. Do you want my virtual assistant to jump in and start interacting with it? Or do you want to take care of it? So this is the kind of threads bots that I built. Uh, and that is part of a Freedom Fusion system. So it interfaces with Freedom Fusion system CRM, which includes, this is my Freedom Fusion system site. And what this thing does is basically you could um, it's built on Go high level, and it includes book appointment system and all nurturing campaigns. It includes all sorts of AI automations that you could use that pretty much just bring everybody inside of the like all the leads inside of a central place, inside of a single central chat room, from multiple socials, etc. And you could interface with it really quickly, and have Slack channel where every leads coming in from the whenever somebody, let's say, goes to the Instagram, the leads would get dropped right away into this channel over here that all comes from through this several bunch of automations that sit inside of the Freedom Fusion system, which is basically like if you go to conversation, you have all those different things kind of included. There's Google reviews, there's when people messaging or calling using AI voice chatbots, everything is here. So like for example, if somebody calls me on a phone number on this phone number on the bottom. So this one, then my voice chat bot picks it up. So this voice chat bot is like literally interconnected to the voice AI, and it's very accurate. It's not like really slow or latency or anything like that, like other chatbots. And this is something that I offer for my students and my customers who end up getting automation services and content creation and digital marketing services from Freedom Fusion System. And we are a talent agency, so it's very easy for us to kind of automate our own workflows for the kind of talent agency needs and AI content-driven automation needs. But the idea here is just like the way I showed you this RAG scraper that kind of includes information in here, the with Freedom Fusion System, um, this when if you let's say you have a business and you wanted to accelerate your chances of getting leads. You wanted to have everything in a single spot, and you wanted to have all sorts of calendars, book appointments where people book stuff, QR code generators, email nurturing campaigns, all sorts of automations. Like for example, when somebody fill out a form, there's a automation for email nurturing. So a bunch of emails go out and basically, your leads are notified of each individual kind of a request of what's happening. They get notified, and sales reps get notified, everybody get notified in Slack. So this whole system streamlines efficiency and converts your leads into loyal customers. This was just one of the automations. There's many other ones, like for my communities, I'm doing if I go to like, there's business automations as well, and payments and pipelines, notification, etc. All of those different things that I'm using specifically. Like this one is for my Instagram. So whenever somebody DMs the word path on my Insta, it goes right away and gets the information and sends it over to my chatbot that responds back with a specific community response when somebody DMs the word path. And when somebody DMs the word path from multiple socials, including Insta. So this is just kind of a quick breakdown of Freedom Fusion system, and that's what I use in combination with um, other bots. So for example, if I wanted to go to sites, marketing, and of course, there's different types of socials that you could blast content across. You could have all sorts of QR code generators, all sorts of quiz generators, social planners to blast content across multiple socials. Yeah, Google review reputation, book appointment system. So this way, it just makes it easy for you to pipelines to see during which pipeline, when let's say a sales rep referred me somebody, where exactly in a pipeline that I hope the sale, where exactly is the lead in context of this whole pipeline. So this way, the sales reps can quickly understand, are they getting like what's happening to the lead? You could literally take all of this information that you see here on a Freedom Fusion system and interconnect that to your very own N8N. So N8N is also a tool that I'm running in Docker, which is it's absolutely free. So your idea here is you want to be using Docker with to kind of do things free. And this is an example of that N8N. And of course, this is where it is. You could kind of open that up. Over here, what I did is I created a little MCP client with chat agent. So this way, when you communicate with it, you could say, show me tools. It actually goes out and to Zapier. Zapier has like 8,000 different applications, and it comes back and it tells you like, okay, this is the tools that you have available. You have Gmail, send email, and all that other stuff. So this is an example of N8N tool. You could easily run that locally on your computer and interconnect all sorts of voice chat bots into it and all sorts of other bots to it and be able to interface directly with Zapier. So Zapier is the reason why I like Zapier is because I don't have to, you just for 29.99 per month, you get a very good like 750 zaps, and you don't have to worry about any kind of use cases that you're struggling with. Because in my particular case, my audience are digital moms and they need all sorts of use cases done. And I don't want to be like constantly creating everything from scratch or using, or sometimes in N8N, there's not enough kind of, not enough applications. So with MCP, you could easily connect to any of those applications and get access to entire Zapier set of libraries, set of applications to do all sorts of bells and whistles. And of course, incorporate that as part of your very own Freedom Fusion system. So this way, if somebody has a use case for any kind of AI content-driven automation for like, let's say a talent agency where they want to have, like they want to streamline all of their onboarding processes for the new people or whatever the case may be, you could use this very neat way of interfacing with MCP and having your own agent. Now, what's the difference between this RAG? What's the difference between Freedom Fusion System AI voice agents? Well, if I was to go to conversations, right? So the conversations, obviously, you have everything coming in into one single central system. It's more deterministic with when you're dealing with things that requires deterministic outcomes, you want to be on top of the game and you want to have separation layer between your personal kind of research or whatever it is that you're doing and the customer data. So when it comes to customer data and when it comes to any kind of very well deterministic um, processes, I always uh, separate whatever my brain, from whatever the brain of the company is. Because when it comes to curated data, when it comes to people asking questions on sites, like let's say if I wanted to go here, if you go to bio.link and go to Freedom Fusion System, and let's say I wanted to learn print money on TikTok Shop. Let's say I wanted to do that. That's one of our feudal incubators. And of course, as you can see, there is kind of a there is no there's basically no chatbot. So if I wanted to, let's say, show you, if I wanted to populate the chatbot, and I have a little chatbot that pops up. Here's an example of a chatbot that does pop up, and it's called Talent Agency. And over here, as you can see, there's, hi there, do you have a question? There's a little chatbot. This one is more trained on the actual data relevant to the talent agency. And the idea here is you could use this chatbot in combination with, let me kind of show you with, let's say if I go to, let's pick, we're gonna actually find more AI agents. Let's see, conversational AI, and we're gonna go to general support over here, and uh, bot training. So over here, as you can see, this is also sort of like a RAG, your similar kind of a RAG that allows you to include all sorts of information inside of the Freedom Fusion system itself. And the cool part about it, guys, you could get access to the Freedom Fusion system, to all of those voice agents, everything, and have your own your own Freedom Fusion sub account. You could, if you like, we could help you get it set up. All you got to do is go to Freedom Fusion system, go to fill in the intro section, and get on a onboarding call, get on an intro call with me, and then we'll decide what exactly your need. And if your need is like you fill out this form, if you need, let's say you need Freedom Fusion automations, what that means is personalized based automations, meaning we go ahead and build personalized automations for your business and literally implement it for you. You may, in this case, you may already have your own go high level, for example, or maybe you're not. Maybe you don't have your own CRM. Maybe this is something that you're interested in. So the Freedom Fusion System CRM is what I'm showing you over here. This is basically what this whole thing here, right? So it has this training kind of concepts, like for example, let's say I talked about cute brown get a hug bear, right? This is one of our products, and I wanted to kind of include that in a knowledge base, and I wanted to ask a question. Of course, I could, at this point, it's already there. I could ask the bot a question. If I go to, let's say I go here, what can you tell me about the bear? So uh, yes, all our bays have movable joints. So at first I was testing that, and as you can see, yes, all our bear toys. So it understands everything about the bear. I could interact. Tell me more about hugging bear, right? So give me a minute to assign you. So what is happening right now on the back end, it's doing this. It's very low cost for AI agent that's going to be interfacing directly on that is trained on your data based on the content that is presented. So over here, as you can see, it's kind of responding. It's very easy. We have different kind of bears. Please click on get the bear button on our website to see more options, etc. That kind of stuff. So it's definitely trained. It's trained on this, and the cool part about it, all you got to do is just populate like your product links relevant your kind of information. In my particular case, I included customize. You could include customized bot responses like this. Like you could add a question and you put an answer, most common questions and answers, and it will just populate how soon will my bear arrive, how much is it for like. So in this case, because I have multiple um, kind of information for my for my company, I put multiple questions and answers. So in your case, it's similar thing, guys. So the bot goals you could include here. You could specify bot goal. For example, I tell people you could book an appointment. If you don't know how to guide the person, for example, it says you are Alexa virtual assistant, who is tasked to assist customers. Your primary goal is to build trust and help out the customers by reference our wiki. Fusion system, your gateway to success. So the bottom line is, like, you could see all the data being populated, and you could quickly kind of see what's happening. And this bot knows, like, okay, to direct where to direct you to kind of do all those things. And the cool part about it, this is just a conversational AI. There's obviously voice AI that kind of tracks and shows you all that other stuff, information about your agents. So when phone calls come in, you could see the summary. You could see all sorts of explanation who called. This is an actual AI voice agent that communicates. It's really fast. It's not laggy like other AI agents are. And it can definitely kind of interface with you, and you could ask all sorts of questions. In this case, this happens to be uh, over here. Like, if I could test the agent and say, call me, like from my phone number, etc., and just you would call, you could receive the call, and then basically you get agent's call. You specify everything over here, how it should communicate, what it should talk about, the prompt, and literally just go ahead and kind of hit the ground running and put that phone number on your site, update it across all of your socials. In our particular case, for our agency, we have multiple socials, and don't worry, we could set the same thing up for you. For example, here are our socials when you go to bio.link over here. As you can see, lots of socials. So what we do, we help businesses set up social presence and set up AI content-driven automations with something like this Freedom Fusion system. So this way, you have everything you need in order to convert leads into loyal customers, and everything integrated into kind of single chat rooms, like single Slack account. If you wanted to build your own community, we also help with that as well. Or let's say you wanted to interconnect things to your Discord. In our particular case, we have Slack for onboarding, and we have Discord for kind of different needs, like where people subscribe into our program. We have coaching program, Feudal Incubator, and Feudal Kingdom Academy, where people can join, jump in into Discord, and they're good to go. So that's kind of what's happening. And when people come in through Discord, what happens is pills of freedom are getting dropped automatically into. We have Freedom Fusion Path, we have Freedom Fusion Land Community, pills of freedom that are getting like that are being constructed in Notion, like the ones over here, are automatically being dropped into our Slack and Discord using some content-driven automation. So this way, our members who join the community, they get to pop those pills of freedom. They're getting the value, constant value, and that's the reason why they're paying for, because they're getting the knowledge from those pills of freedom, from those feudal incubators. Like, here's one of them, it's called Freedom Fusion Track. This is using local AI models on your computer using LM Studio and Open Web UI. This is the pill of freedom that I'm actually discussing over here. And after I'm done discussing this, I'm going to go ahead and include this pill of freedom directly as a URL, as a relevant workshop. So right now, this is like a TikTok workshop URL. So this is the video that talks about, that gave me an idea to go ahead, like inspirational idea for me to go ahead and build this thing over here, where the way it works is I find some ideas, I look on TikTok, and sometimes there's other sites as well that provide very good ideas for where you could research things quickly, and I'll incorporate that and give you guys another automation that can find out what is viral out there. And so this way you could construct pills of freedom in case if you do want to build something like your own very own feudal kingdom based on feudal system framework, and get access to your very own Freedom Fusion system and do something like this. So this way you could spawn money from multiple communities, that kind of stuff. As you building them, then you could follow that same format of where you construct the pills of freedom, and those pills of freedom, they get populated into Slack. And in Slack, everybody is aware of those pills of freedom. And not only, like in this particular case, we're dealing with Freedom Fusion Track community. So this is for a community specifically for anybody who wants to develop skills that relevant to building your own AI automation agency, and apply knowledge learned with from whatever. So there's two types of pills, red pill and blue pill. So blue pill is basically where you learn information. So let's say I specify this blue pill. This is where you learn information theoretically, and red pill is where you apply it practically. So practically is when you provided an exact information for what to do and you will execute it. So for example, uh, let's say a pill of freedom get constructed and you see that pill of freedom and it shows that you need to be like, who is the assignee, and it shows basically like all the little details for what you're supposed to do, and you literally just do it, uh, and you get knowledge, you get expertise, and you get to actually practice on a real use case. And not only that, we have feudal lords, brand owners that are coming in and giving us all sorts of work assignments, in all sorts of like they could connect with side hustlers who are part of the feudal incubators, but those feudal lords, they come from different community called Freedom Fusion Land. So what I did is I created like a complete loop where there's one community for business owners and it's called Freedom Fusion Land. So if you have a brand, if you're already a business owner and you don't want to develop any skills, you just want to get connected with a hybrid skills side hustler, then uh, in Freedom Fusion Path is where our side hustlers sit. But you as the business owner, you could request content, you could have, you could request work, and that work would go out directly to us. Right now, I'm just kind of showing you different type of uh, channels over here in Discord. And obviously, if you wanted to, let's say you have a brand and you wanted to have um, a content request. Let's say you wanted to send a content request, you'd say, "Hey guys, I want to send a content request for I want to build like a fire-looking video for my brand that will make things easier." So you submit a content request, and it would just go out, and other side hustlers from other communities would be able to see this request. They wouldn't be able to interact with one another. They'll just be able to see the request coming from the business owner and vice versa. So it's a very unique system that allows both parties to interface with one another and allows both parties to benefit. And both parties, basically, the feudal lords and side hustlers, they squabble up with each other and make money, basically. That's the idea. And of course, we as the agency, we charge for the community to get access. And of course, members of our feudal incubators, our feudal kingdom academy, they get access to pills of freedom. They get access to a freedom fusion system, and they also get access to threads stack power bundle, which is all of those guides over here that helps digital moms uh, basically learn all sorts of marketing, all sorts of techniques for how to do this on threads, how to do incredible marketing on threads, and how to do this in a way that will help them convert that $1 into three. So anyway, this was just kind of a quick explanation of what's going on, but going back to where we were, which is effectively general discussion. We were not there. So right now we could kind of see we were installing LLM. And by the way, guys, like this Docker thing, in case if you wanted to learn how to set up Docker and all that other stuff, also join the community. I'll walk you through this whole process of how to set it up. And it's very easy. You set it up and you run your own N8N agents. And the idea behind all of those N8N agents is it's free, just like this LLM model that we're running is also free. Uh, and of course, once you do this more often, you're going to be like super well versed in being able to integrate all of those agents together. Don't worry too much about like very complex use cases. Just worry about very simple use cases. Like how do we get the voice bot to work? How do we create email nurturing campaigns? How do we configure Zapier, MCP, and N8N to interface with one another? How do you do this? How do you control those models in a way that is very easy for you to kind of navigate through without spending any money? How do we do this right now? Hi, is this working? It says loaded. LM Studio is when install is scheduled, has finished downloading. Load model. So it kind of makes it super easy for you now. Let's see. Load model. Hi, so we got something. And guess what? We're using DeepSeek R1 Distill Quen 7B. So this is, how can you do this? Well, congratulations, guys. Now we are running. Are we running locally? Locally. So right now, guys, look, we got the entire model right away. running locally that you could interface with. It seems that might be tough. Could you clarify what it means by are we running locally? Are you asking if it can assist with local issue or task? So it doesn't even know that we ran this locally because what model are you? What model are you? Right? So what model are you? And let's go ahead and take a look at kind of our CPU and memory and just kind of take a look how fast are we running? What is going on? Like, because we want to see, is this killing our computer? Is it not? Like, we just want to see the performance, guys. And this is obviously, this is not a one-trick pony exercise, guys. This is something very, uh, this is something that you could easily just do, but don't expect it to be like super um, super expert in it right away. In my particular case, I'm a full stack cybersecurity engineer. I do this on an everyday basis, dealing with all sorts of systems. Don't expect to be like flying through all of those things like the way I'm flying. Take it super slow. I don't expect you to do this, but look, the memory is 90% utilization of the memory. So that's kind of a problem, right? So we got this memory that how does our computer behave when there's such a huge load on the memory, and how do we unload this memory if the model is not in use? Let's first of all take a look and see uh what is going on. Take a look right now. I mean, memory is overloaded, right? I feel like, okay, I'd like to let's first kind of see and explore this first, and then later on we could try to connect to the API and then see how we could unload the memory, and how we could do this quickly in a way that not in a way where we're not. Let's say if you want to use the model, we'll load the model. If you don't want to use the model and we use the computer, we unload it. That kind of stuff. So okay, so right now it says tokens, 212 tokens. So keep something in mind, like just because you see this thing is being locally free, the GUI is not free from this interface over here, the Google, because you did see that it mentioned that LM Studio is not free. The actual, if you run it on a CLI and using it in your own context, then it's free, right? But like otherwise, you using some of those tokens. So what does that mean, guys? So what that means is there's a middleman still. So if you guys want to be kind of no middleman whatsoever, then that is exactly why have to be building things like this with uh, ThreadsBots RAG, kind of like this, where I literally show you how to do this directly. And there's a person who I got the inspiration from. I include him as well for your reference. So this way you could follow him as well, and he has a very good breakdown. But what I did is I made it easier for you to kind of understand what ThreadsBots RAG does. It combines multiple concepts like using your own browser use way to kind of browse around the internet, find the lead, come back to you, tell you, profile the lead, and do all sorts of things. And of course, it's combined with this ThreadsBots RAG brain kind of tool where you use this tool to go ahead and populate all sorts of links. So this way you could ask it all sorts of questions. And of course, you've seen that ThreadsBots RAG earlier. I was showing it to you, but it's running on a background on a Streamlit. As you can see, this is what you would get access to it. So if you really want to learn more about how to not to spend all that money on those tools, because it's all tricky, guys. Like when you go to any of those libraries, there's always somebody want to get something out of you. You kind of got to understand that. In my particular case, I'm running an agency, AI automation and talent agency. So obviously, for me, it's very important to have the right tools without burning through the hole. And of course, in the process, what I do is I help you guys out as well. You could also, if you want some mentoring help or whatever, you could go to my FUD community and you could DM the word PAF on my Insta and get me as a mentor and literally subscribe to me for $14.99, and I'll help you guys out, whatever the kind of questions that you guys have. It's different from Feudal Incubator or Feudal Kingdom Academy. Like Feudal Kingdom Academy show, let's say you're a business owner and you want to actually do this. You wanted to learn all the stuff. You want to be able to interface with all those models in a way that is not necessarily you like learning the super insane skills, but in terms of you wanted to figure out how to accelerate your business. And if that's the case, we do offer workshops. Go to this link that I clicked over here. This is the link that I clicked on, a free AI automation workshop for how not to be process prisoner. Go there and basically register for the free workshop over here. We'll run those workshops twice a month. But the idea here is like when this workshop is done, you have a better understanding. It's a more high quality kind of workshops than what you would get on FUD. But go on FUD, get access to my guides, see thousands of my workshops, see many of my premium guides, threat stack guides, and all sorts of other guides to help you learn how to do all those different things, and you could learn it for free. But if you wanted to subscribe for $14.99 to me, then you would get access to premium workshops and premium guides, and of course, uh, you would have encouragement and support from me. And if by that and after that, at that point, we could decide which feudal incubator is best for you, whether you're a feudal lord or a side hustler, depending on who you are, that's where you would be funneled into that particular program. So I had a wonderful workshop yesterday with one of the side hustlers who expressed interest in being part of the Freedom Fusion content feudal incubator. And so we discussed his role. So he's going to be actually teaching on TikTok, teaching digital moms for how to create content on TikTok. And basically, he will be leading the whole division of the Freedom Fusion content. And that came out from just one call, 1 hour call between me and him yesterday. He instantly wanted to become my mentee, instantly, and was regretting the fact that he didn't see any other workshops. Why? Because essentially, he has the expertise in digital faceless marketing. He knows how to create fire-looking content, but he doesn't have American TikTok account, and he needs to he wants to really succeed. And I told him, I showed him and explained him how I helped a bunch of side hustlers succeed, and gave him an example of Luca, who now already has like over 30 people working for him. He's only 20 years old. Here's Luca right here. Here's Luca. Uh, and although Luca is no longer with me in the company, I should probably put a new side hustler in here, whoever is going to be the next person leading the Freedom Fusion track division. But he succeeded really well. He has 30 people working under him, and he's from Brazil. Very smart kid. And it took me only 3 months for me to work with him and help him get to freedom. And now he has his own, he's from Brazil. He barely spoke English when I first met him, and now he is on his way to discovering that freedom, guys, with over 30 people working under him in his agency, his AI automation agency. Now, I took a slightly different route. Me as a business owner, as a side hustler, I took a different route. I built the actual entire agency, talent agency, where we connect digital mom brand owners, luxury brand owners with side hustlers. And that's exactly the conversation that I had yesterday with one of mentee students who wants to be the mentee, who wants to subscribe immediately for $14.99 on FUD on my community, and who wants to actually do this and wants to lead other side hustler moms to freedom, and wants to show them how to sell on TikTok, wants to help them get connected with brands, the feudal lords, so this way they could make extra income on a monthly basis from affiliate, from like a retainer monthly fee from the feudal lord plus the commission from on a monthly basis as an extra gravy if they end up selling any products, those moms who do go through the feudal incubator. So the idea is, guys, for me to kind of even explain all of those different parts of the agency, it's like impossible to do in one workshop. You just have to see other workshops. But the idea here is, if you want to learn more about building your own threads bots rag, so this way you could interface with local large language models, and um and kind of so this way you don't have to spend money. Then definitely start off with basic things like this, like threads rag. Then go ahead and include then go ahead and say, I want this. If you want to put some like $5, that's good. If not, you could put zero, whatever the case is. I'm really thirsty. If you want to buy me coffee, go to my buy me coffee link as well. This is where heck, you could even leave a video message if you want. It's a new feature in a Buy Me a Coffee. But either or, like you could get it for free, and you could learn through this pill of freedom that literally shows everything relevant to your relevant to like threads bots rag, for example, threads. So if I go back to programs, right, and kind of show you the Fit Fusion um, track. So this is where this is the track for anybody who wants to build their own AI automation agency. And let's say I wanted to see this feudal incubator training, build your second brain with Superbase. And over here, this is where I literally show you breakdown. Once you get access to this pill, you get access to all of those details and learn how to set up the Superbase account, how to do all of those things, how to set up your local ThreadsBots RAG. Uh, so this way you can have that interface and have everything running. It's everything shown in this pill of freedom. All you got to do is just jump into bio.link freedom, freedom fusion system and go to threadsbots rag. And of course, if you guys want this one, this is also fire tutorial. It's where you connect your N8N to Zapier NCP and get access to over 8,000 apps. So this is absolutely crazy. This is like your foundational. So instead of connecting individually to each kind of node using API, which is like a horrible thing to do. It's just really slow. Like MCP, Anthropic came out with this protocol called Model Context Protocol, where you can literally just interface with the server and say, hey, what kind of tools you got? And it will say, well, I got Gmail, this tool, Gmail create email, Gmail update email. And instead of you like creating individual kind of connections to each one, and wasting your time, you interface directly with your MCP servers. Now, there's a huge reason why you want to do this, why you want to interface with MCP servers. In fact, like I created a threads. If I go to threads.net and you go to Freedom Fusion System and literally kind of see what this thread is all about, you'll quickly be able to figure this out and check this out. So this is it. So it's funny. Let's see. So first of all, this is a Freedom Fusion content. This is what I was telling you about this earlier, latest feudal incubator. It kind of shows you what the Freedom Fusion content is. So you could kind of see what the Freedom Fusion system is. You could see all the structure. So I try to do things in threads. So it's very easy to kind of get people to like literally come into your community if you use threads. And I also show some automations for how to actually do this and explain in more details for how to use threads. But the idea here, guys, is start using threads in combination with your AI content-driven automations and digital faceless marketing journey. So this way you could easily kind of interface with your leads and just make things easier. So this is over here where I say connect your second brain bots rag to Zapier and N8N using MCP. So this is like, if you see this, you could kind of be like, okay, this is all this good stuff that shows everything about MCP and Zapier, right? So let's say, notice how like it has crazy looking videos, right? That's the kind of marketing you guys want to be doing if you really want to succeed. And here I explain like why you want to use MCP, right? So let's say you created a thread like this, and uh, what I typically do after creating a thread like this, when I create a thread, it automatically creates the pill of freedom inside of Notion. So I don't even have to worry about creating the pill of freedom. It just does it automatically. But in some cases, if I include a hashtag, and of course that's an automation, you could use Zapier for that. And that's another reason why you want to have Zapier. So this way you could do things like on a fly, like crazy automation workflows like this. But let's say if I wanted to include this thread that I wanted to show setting up MCP server. So what I could do, I could include this URL over here. Boom. So now everything is kind of packaged in one pill of freedom. And the cool part, the reason why I'm using Notion is because I'm like, when I see, you see how it says share? There's a share button over here in Notion. You see how it says search engine indexing is on, right? I had to turn it on so this way, because I want people to know that I want people to find me on this pill of freedom, but also I want to be able to get the email address from each individual who does like go through my bio link, etc., and get access to the pill of freedom, because then they will get more value, because they'll be able to see interface with me, get access to the community. They'll have better understanding versus just kind of going through this pill of freedom on its own. But the idea here, guys, if you wanted to set up something like this, where you creating those pills of freedom, charging people money for accessing those pills of freedom, and basically not giving them absolutely every single thing inside of a template. Like let's say, for example, do you see how I have N8N template JSON? You see how it says to get the template and video tutorial, go here to go to Gumroad, right? So I should probably go to Gumroad link. So the Gumroad link is this one over here. So if I kind of show to you, the Gumroad link is right here. So I have, how do I do this? How do I integrate AI content-driven automations together with marketing, together with content and all that other stuff? Well, because I have everything compiled in Notion. Everything is really like neatly packed. And when people see this, they could like navigate the threads. Now they have the context and full understanding of why you want to be connecting your second brain, why do you want to be using MCP. Like here's an example of what are the advantages of using MCP that you mentioned. Great question. Using MCP, this is like, it shows like all those little details you inside of threads, all the coaching programs, everything described in one shot. Everything's just a gazillion times easier to understand when you have full context and explanation behind every single thing nicely packaged into a thread. Sure, it may take you a little bit of time to like manually create a fire looking thread, but once you create the manual thread with voice recordings and all sorts of videos and of your brand, then you're just going to be able to include that thread in a Notion and reference that in ChatGPT. So like if you go to ChatGPT and ask and say something, uh, can you tell me more about threads, bots, RAG, and you could specify on threads.net from Freedom Fusion system, right? So you could do something like this, and you could provide instructions inside of your digital marketing products for like, hey, this is okay. So this it didn't work. How can you tell me? Can you tell me more about MCP? I only did this yesterday, like 2 days ago. More about MCP and Zapier N8N from Freedom Fusion System from threads.net at Freedom Fusion system account system like this. So this is being very specific, but trust me, guys, if you use very unique, you see, it doesn't even know about MCP yet, but for those interested in playing guides of all details, so this is, let's see, what is this? Okay, so notice how it found right away MCP guide, and it was able to do that. Why? Because I created this thread. Now, after, guys, what I'm going to show you as part of the Feudal Incubator, I'm going to show you how to actually like create those threads automatically. So this way, uh, like literally, guys, you could use you could use threads as your marketing platform. And this is not me, this is somebody else. But the idea is you could literally integrate your threads in a mix. You could also, here's an example why I use threads and I use YouTube and why I cross-pollinate content across multiple platforms. I could say, show me more info about Freedom Fusion system across all platforms. Like this is an example why I use threads and why I use YouTube, why I use Reddit, why I include everything. So this is like a very good way to get that social presence up and running faster. So over here, you can see additional threads, Freedom Fusion system. You could see right away, like it takes you, it knows, ChatGPT knows it can search for that. It learns about Freedom Fusion system. And it says Freedom Fusion system replaces many tools and has multiple funnels and not only fully blown SaaS CRM built on platform trusted by thousands of businesses, but also a talent agency born on FUD for side hustling bougie moms. Threads Booster Guide is built on basic funnel page that I showed above, etc., etc., etc. So the idea here is, and you could kind of see me holding the pill of freedom, and you could see this, like, I come to you with my feudal army. So anyway, guys, you kind of got the idea. Now, what you definitely got to start using threads, and don't worry, I'll show you the actual. And over here, I'm kind of showing you the dog, and kind of us selling like dog pillows together in community, and connecting brand owners together. So that's, I mean, this is pretty cool stuff, guys. But like, if you wanted to, this is the reason why you want to take your workshops. So whenever you construct those pills of freedom, whenever you build any kind of workshops, you want to be integrating them with your Gumroad. So this way you get right away like the actual email. You want to be integrating that with your own Freedom Fusion system. You want to have AI and voice chatbots doing the work for you across the programs and services that you're offering, and you want to have your own threads bots RAG that kind of goes out there, finds the details about all of your leads, and comes back to you and literally like gives you the leads on a platter, or getting your side hustlers to go ahead and engage with those leads. uh, for you to orchestrate all of this stuff, you need to be able to understand how to build like your own Freedom Fusion system. And to do that, you'll learn that in the community. You'll learn that in Freedom Fusion Path community, which hosts all of those different programs over here that you see here. They're all part of Freedom Fusion Path. So I could even all of those programs are part of Freedom Fusion Path community. And then I should probably update it now. I should say other programs for brand owners are part of Freedom Fusion Land community. So, and then over here I could include like uh Feudal Kingdom, Feudal Kingdom Academy. Academy is one of them. And of course, later on, I could include like similar thing, like another page for Feudal Kingdom Academy. I haven't had a chance to do that yet, but you guys got the idea that the most important part for you is right now at this point, understand how to interface with all those tools using MCP and N8N, and of course, how to load those large language models. And going back to large language models, what can we do here? I want to create a looking, fire looking description for my threads based on my threads based on my workshop transcript. And let's see this. Let's say, so as you guys know, I do have another Zapier automation that goes ahead and converts all of my transcripts automatically into basically when I go live, when I go on Zoom, it immediately drops everything into Google Drive and includes the actual automation, well, the actual description in here. So what I could do is now, instead of using those tokens from somebody else, like paying for APIs directly to DeepSeek or any other places, what I do is just use this information directly locally. Be sure to include emojis and start off the thread based on threads.net limit, um, tailor it tailor it for threads.net platform, focus on pain points for digital moms seeking to discover freedom with AI, automation, UGC, and beyond. Okay, so I'm kind of going to include that, and keep something in mind. This information is being loaded into this kind of brain. You could load, unload memory. Right now it's thinking, it's coming up with the description, guys, for our threads. So this way we could use it right away in threads and kind of hit the ground running. And it says context is 8.3% full. So still thinking it's a little slow. We're running on a computer. Let's see, task manager. Let's see what is the performance. Okay, actually it came back. So it's a little slow than, let's say, other kind of models that are running on anything, but still, let's see. So okay, so it created this, right? So it created, are you one of those moms always feeling overwhelmed by the never-ending demands of her business, tired of spending hours of marketing without seeing results, or perhaps you're ready to level up your game? So so now it kind of, look how what it did. It said, your journey to AI freedom. Okay, so introducing the ultimate solution, AI armored freedom. So that kind of butchered it because this is the first time I'm using it. It doesn't know anything about my context. Uh, Introducing the ultimate solution, fire-like description designed to ignite your passion for digital success. The powerful blend of tools, RAG, threads, bots, and retrieval system is here to transform how you operate the marketing mob. Let's dive into why this is a game-changing, struggling to keep up with the fast-paced digital world, feeling overwhelmed, etc. AI armored solutions. So RAG threads speed your workflow by automatically pulling relevant context from any URL, but automations transform world today. Of course, the other models from what you see here, it looks like it used 1,048 tokens. It doesn't seem like, when you look at this, you could probably say, well, I don't know, because that was slow. I maybe should just stick to the Mistral or some other models, right, that are a lot faster, and it just took a very slow time. I don't know if I want to use that. That's the first thing. That's my first impression. Uh, but the cool part about it, it has the reasoning part, and it kind of shows you. I want to create it literally shows you the reasoning part, just like what you already know about that DeepSeek, that it does that. But uh, over here, what I could do is, I could say, can you format it as individual threads, individual, individual threads, and instead of AI armored solutions, mention Freedom Fusion automations, automations. So let's see if it's going to be able to kind of correct itself, how long it takes to do this, and how quickly it can react. So task manager, if you go back to the task manager, we're going to go to performance. We'll see that it's utilizing 94% of the memory. Okay, so a lot of memory is being utilized, guys. Now let's see Freedom Fusion action. So ignite your digital freedom automations, etc. RAG threads, bot automation, let those bots retrieval system while you love Freedom Fusion. Uh, Efficiency is no longer a struggle. Context-wise recommendation, transform your world today. So it's a bit generic response. I could maybe say be more specific, but the bottom line is I could take this and put it on threads and upload that on threads, and I have it create like a little description. Now, of course, you could also use ChatGPT for this, uh, and say, can you spice this up and make it better? So you typically want to do low, kind of like a very grunt work on one model, and then have ChatGPT spice it up with like a better model, like with better context. And now you could kind of use ChatGPT to go ahead and uh, can you format it? Can you format it for threads? For threads.net. Okay, so now I'm gonna absolutely, here's a format, right? So real talk, all that other stuff. So it's super fast. It's a lot easier to run than anything else. Like here, it's just still stuck at 94% memory. Now we're gonna go ahead and figure out how to unload this thing and reduce the memory. So the first thing what we're gonna do is we're gonna go threads bots rag, and we're gonna ask, well, we're gonna ask a question. How do I unload the memory? So like this, I'm gonna ask how to unload the memory. So list the correlate information about load model. To load model, head to chat tab. Models can be automatically unloaded from memory based on the idle TTL feature or by enabling auto evict feature. The idle TTL defines how long model can stay loaded without receiving requests before being automatically unloaded. Uh, additional additional instruction on loading model directed user actions are not mentioned in provided context. Okay. So it does say that we need to it could be unloaded using some sort of TTL thing. So what we do is we go to LM Studio and we see eject the model from memory. That's crazy. There's a button called eject, sort of like in a CD-ROM. I don't know if you guys used CD-ROM back in the days where you could hit the eject button. If you guys old enough to remember that, but that's kind of crazy. Okay, so can you construct it, construct better response based on the fact that I want moms to register to this workshop. Here is the link, HTTP. And of course, if you guys struggle with workshops, what I typically do, I go here, I have everything kind of from one central place where you could jump in, and like this, boom. So I kind of include this, and let's see what it's gonna do. Can you construct better response based on the fact that I want mom to register to this workshop? Here's the link. And what it's gonna do, it's gonna actually perform. It's gonna create the summary, but check this out, guys. The crazy part about it, you could have another proxy. What I use another tool called proxy from Convergence to go ahead and jump across multiple kind of jump on threads and literally remind people to join workshops automatically. And it just kind of does it. It logs in into threads and does it. So, and over here, dear name recipient, are you digital mom overwhelmed by the demands of your business, struggling to keep up with the vestige? So it's here to arm, here's freedom is to power, etc., etc. Why freedom fusion automations, transform your world today, etc., etc. Let's say, so this is very interesting, but it's written like a letter, and it says 911 tokens used. So always you got to be like watching out, thinking about tokens. Don't worry, guys. I'll show you how to use just a regular version from this to not have to worry about tokens. Now, right now, using the UI of the studio, but you could interface directly from something like ThreadsBots, RAG. And over here, there's other elements that kind of show you how to interface directly with the actual model. So over here, we got server port 1234, only keep just in time loaded model. So auto unload unused just in time loaded models. Okay, so that just means it will unload it after 60 minutes. Yeah, if I don't if I don't like ejected. So the file itself, the format, etc. The size on disk is this. The model AI API identifier is this. So start the server to be able to access the model through API. Okay, cool. So, and it does look like it has API endpoint over here. List the current models and do this. So if you use like Perl statement and just try to connect to it, status stop, start server. So let's see. So that is, if we start the server right now, what's going to be happening, we're going to be able to expose this to this particular thing over here. So now I could kind of do this and it'd be like, okay, what is the API request? How can I generate the curl statement? So is there any API key that I need to add to interface directly with this thing? So how do we do this? This is what I'm analyzing right now in real time with you guys, thinking, okay, here's a curl, copy curl command. Okay, you know what? Copy curl command. So we're just quickly doing this and we are pasting that. So PowerShell, and let's see if we could paste. Okay, what did it say first time when we did that? It said row is not recognized as a command. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna do Chrome. We're gonna go back to the model. Can you tell me how to structure this curl curl statement for Windows. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna copy this curl. We're going back. Okay, so this is what it is. Let's see. Let's see if it's gonna give me the command for Windows curl. Right now, as you guys seen that it failed. And of course, this is, you could be using cursor for all of that to kind of quickly navigate and give you all the information. But things like this, you kind of quickly want to identify manually first, see how it's running, etc., and then use cursor to kind of start navigating through this. So right now it's using temperature 0.7, stream whatever max tokens -1, and it just has it doesn't have like TTL value when the memory should be unloaded, but um, it's still thinking, guys. It's taking a little bit of time. So that's what happens when you do it locally on your computer versus running it on some other place. So to structure star curl with X post to initiate the post. Okay. So we're gonna append the target command initiation. Okay. So let's see. Curl minus X post. No URL specified. Curl post. Quickly do this. Yeah. Okay, so we're quickly just putting that in, guys. Curl X post. And or we could just, you know what, skip that like this and do this. Let's try the ChatGPT real quick. Actually, can you show me curl command how to interface with the model API endpoint server? Let's see. Okay, how can I structure this? Can you tell me how to execute this? Execute this on Windows. Keep something in mind, this is not trained on your, it trained on there. If I included the URL that includes all of these details, it may kind of do this. Okay, you know what? It did. Okay, so to execute provided command, you can use curl command on a terminal. Download this if you haven't already, as it provides Unix, Linux terminal environment on Windows. And it does this like this. Make sure the server is local. Okay, that's pretty cool. It actually kind of made it work. Let's see if it works. No, it didn't. Uh, how can I do this on Windows? Let me do this command on. Can I do this on Windows? On Windows, this on Windows. It doesn't work. Doesn't work. So if I don't want to do the text provide content instruction on getting started on LLM2, including how to download it, large and chat. It does not provide information on Windows, right? So what you could do is you could switch back to this one. So how can you tell me in one line code how to execute this on Windows? So I'm kind of doing this right now, and I'm switching, going to uh, ChatGPT, and just quickly, how can I run this code on Windows? And keep something in mind, guys. To run it, it gave me right away, here's a version of Windows prompt. So let's see, in one shot, it gave it to me, and boom. So it kind of, let's see, did a phrase? No, hold on, let me see, enter. Kind of nothing happened as soon as I did that. No, nothing. Let me see if I go to actual prompt. itself on partial. Let's try partial, paste, okay. And kind of nothing happens after I did that. Okay, how do we troubleshoot this? Nothing happens. Nothing happens when I do this. When I do this, got it. The troubleshoot step by step. You need something listening on. Uh, so what happens when you try the simplest test? Let's try to do this. And right now I'm still kind of using ChatGPT, guys. I could be using Mistral, and I'll show it to uh what is it? Can you try curl? Okay. Ah, why do I have ping? Okay, so curl ping. Okay. Unexpected endpoint or method get. So let's see. I got this. Let's do this. And what does it say? It says that's a great sign. Yeah, that means guys, net stat minus an. That's another command that you could use to grep 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I can't use grep. It's a net stat minus an. So this is grep I typically use on Linux. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we do have it listening. So that model is indeed listening on the computer. So the question is, what is going on? So how come it's not? So it's listening, it's generating things, it's got the embedding things, supported endpoints, open model. So how do we run this further? What do we do? That's the question. How do we figure out what to do next? So the model is this. It shows client disconnected. So open a new window, open new window. Let's take a look at this thing. Instead of thinking about all the stuff, let's take a look at, it says stopping generation, the model processing. Okay, I'm just gonna go here. This is what I'm getting. However, when I'm typing command on the CLI prompt, I'm not getting any results, any results, any results. This is the debug output. Tell me, tell me what is wrong. Tell me what is wrong and how can I interface with this endpoint through API. So I'm quickly typing that, processing prompt, etc., thinking. So while it's thinking, guys, I could kind of, and some of those things you guys could do locally. Sure, it will save you some money without you having to spend anything on other tools. But in case if you're lazy like me and you wanted to quickly kind of navigate into a tool that will help you kind of get access to all of those fast models real quick, let's go. I'm gonna show you something. We're gonna go open router, uh, router AI. So let's see, open router AI. So we're gonna go log in here, and we're gonna start chatting over here. We're gonna sign in real quick. This is a free tool. You could log into it, sign into it, and you're good to go. And you could search for models. For example, you could search for Mistral, free, and you could say, you could start chat, and you could say, tell me how to interface with this curl statement on my computer. And then you provide the curl statement over here. You go back and you just kind of quickly get the curl statement. This is how quickly I troubleshoot things, guys. I don't sit there wondering what's going on. I literally just do it. Like I kind of switch between the models and do it. And look how fast Mistral is. Instant fast, like right away. It comes back and tells you all the stuff over here for how to do this. It's super fast. You're not waiting it forever to infinity. So some of those models you definitely want to be using like Open Router for basic quick interaction. Um, you could have it from one place, where kind of your own threadsbots rag, where you could interface directly with this other models and build this into your own UI. But why, when you already have open router, you could interface with this directly. The only reasons why you'd want to do this your own threads bots rag is because like this thing would know anything about something like something that it cannot scrape. So over here it says to interface with the provider's kernel on computer, you need to ensure you have a runtime. Install curl, so Mac OS, Windows. So this is what it is, and you could kind of see the use of double quotes around JSON and escaping the payload. By the way, you could have also Mistral model directly on that LM Studio as well. So, and as you can see, bad hostname. I got this, and you could kind of see how fast it interfaces. I got this after typing on Windows, and let's see how quickly it responds. It seems that you are running the command on Windows command prompt on shell or PowerShell. The command you enter is mostly correct, but you should ensure on Windows command does not perform continuous backslashes. One line input. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do this. We're gonna do one line input. Boom, I got this. And once again, actually we did this in command. We did it in PowerShell. Let's do it in this thing over here. So nothing. Always answer in rhymes today. Today is Thursday. That's basically what it mentioned. What day is it today? Always answered. Always answer in rhymes. It didn't really work. Let's say maybe it takes a while to load. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait because remember, guys, we've seen something on our UI that is taking slower. Like it just taking a little bit of time. Maybe it's doing the same exact thing. So we're looking this further. Accumulating tokens, running chat completion of conversation with 2 messages. So this is kind of a debug window that kind of help us to better understand what is going on in the background. So if we look at the client disconnected stopping generation, let's see. Okay. You know what? It did actually respond. Look, so I need to figure out the ways user asking. They wrote today is Thursday and then say they want to always answer the rhymes. So it's a reasoning model that's coming back, and perhaps they want to confirm it through the question. So DeepSeek is really funny, guys. Count 3 more days until it's done, and then we'll all be free today. It doesn't quite rhyme. Thursday comes on once a week. So it's pretty cool. And me as a poet, I definitely appreciate the way it responds. So a couple of things: don't jump the gun if you don't see something. Understand that this is how it behaves, and of course you could modify the actual what do you call it, temperature settings, and it will include some other use cases as well, and kind of make things easier and show you how to use Cursor as well. Download a couple like 14 Gmail accounts, guys, and jump into Cursor. And because you could quickly like you could register multiple free accounts and then quickly ask all sorts of questions relevant to it. So right now I could kind of interface with the commands. That's good. That's great. Now, how do you package all of this into the pill of freedom? So the pill of freedom is going to be very simple. When you construct pills of freedom and you obviously want to build your own community and make some money, so this way you charge access to whatever the community that where you're providing value. What you want to be doing, you want to constructing the pills of freedom in a way that resonates with your audience. So over here, I kind of included use local models over here. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to quickly construct the pill of freedom and show you how to kind of interface directly with that pill of freedom very in a simple way. So the first thing is this is a TikTok account over here, and this is Notion. So I'm gonna kind of quick uh, uh yeah. So what's going on? It's a little buggy. Okay, new page, Control Z. Okay, TikTok. So URL n8n reg. This no, I'm on wrong thing again. So this is it. We go in here, and this is how we want to do this, guys. I'm going to show you how to construct the pill of freedom directly inside of Notion. So you use toggle, And what this will allow you to do, you will be able to include, typically when I do the toggle, I try to hide everything in one place just to make it, just to kind of make it easier to present information. Remember, guys, you will not be able to make any money unless you can present information correctly. So over here, what I do is I kind of put everything under toggle, and I include this video shows. See this video first. This is basically the inspirational video that I found from the internet on TikTok that shows exactly what is going on. And it basically, when you see the video, it shows you how to use this um, um, a model. So you could say benefit, and then over here, uh, you could say benefit benefit for using local um, LLM models like DeepSeek, and others on your computer. So then over here, I know it's kind of a lot of things to type. So what I typically do is I just put things that are very difficult for AI to figure it out. And sometimes what I do is I use special extension to do it, like Tango. I have this Tango extension to kind of create the soaps, but this is slightly outside of Tango. This is a actual LLM tool. So typically the way I do it is I kind of include example of a couple of APIs. So I include like, okay, for example, I include a screenshot over here and literally just kind of include the screenshot for what exactly am I doing. So this way it kind of easy, and I take the screenshot that shows the API endpoints and I kind of quickly include it over here and I say, see this video first. Uh, then I include toggle, install LLM, install LM Studio, and use and expose the endpoint. And then I kind of include over here. And then, of course, I include information for how to do this. Step one. So what I do is I just kind of provide the link to LM Studio. And the rest is just a matter of kind of LM Studio documentation, and boom, I just provide the link and they go here to this information. So inside of field of freedom, I include all the detailed information to make it super easier. Go here, follow instructions here, download an LLM, and run it on your computer. Load DeepSeek into it, and start interfacing with curl command after and enable the server, and start interfacing with it using curl command. And of course, when you're creating those workshops, keep some in mind, see the workshop video for details. So you want to kind of quickly include your workshop video. Like in this case, I'm creating this workshop video. So it obviously explains, they will be able to see exactly what I'm referring to. And obviously, this is what I'm referring to by starting the server. And you could see, you could kind of zoom in this part over here and include that as well. So this is how to start the server. Uh, and then over here, after complete, and then over here you include again toggle 3, unload the memory, unload the memory after you're done. And then you just quickly go ahead and show once again something like how eject button over here. So eject button. So this way everything is quickly kind of explained. And of course, what I do is I use Paint to kind of quickly put that in. and just include something like this over here. Otherwise, your memory will get toast if you don't do that. Notice how I'm doing this super fast, guys. So don't worry, you're going to learn that skill as well as part of the hybrid skills to quickly do this, just navigating uninstall benefit, benefit, benefit user. Forget about spending lots of money on tools, on API tools. Use local LLM model to run it on your computer. Now, a couple of things, guys, which you guys got to understand. What you want to do actually in a production environment, of course, uh, if you want to start using something like open router, etc., and squeeze in a couple of free credits from all of those other open router, all of those models before doing anything else, I highly recommend you do that, and then run it only like for other use cases where it's absolutely needed for you to, like where you spending colossal amount of time on credits, API credits, then you definitely want to be using local. But for very simple cases like this, you could kind of do it this way. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show how to use thumb. So next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to Gumroad, and then I'll quickly log in into the Gumroad and then show you how I just construct a pill of freedom. So what I do is I go ahead and I create a product and I create new product and name of product, local uh, local LLM. Let's see. This is actually, I mean, this should be really kind of something that you're going to be marketing, but in this case, it's just kind of a ebook in a way, sort of like a course digital. It's not necessarily a digital product, but in a way, because we don't really have kind of like a zip file with a curl statement that we got to execute. So for now, we're just going to include LLM around um, LM Studio. Typically, what I do, LM Studio plus DeepSeek, DeepSeek locally. Run LLM, say run LLMs locally. And this is kind of next thing. And you would click next to customize. Price, you would just put 0, next customize. Then what you do is you could quickly kind of go to ChatGPT or OpenAI or existing model that you created and include over here. Can you explain, can you provide the benefits of running it locally, running LLM locally using LM Studio? So you could take this output and just send to chat, and then at the same time you could take the threads bot output as well and do the same, ask the same kind of question. So, and of course with threads bots RAG, it's uh, it will be more controlled kind of a way for you to interface with it. As you can see, I have lots of different tabs. Sometimes it could be troubling to even find where the threads bots RAG is. So what I'll do is I'll just close a couple of windows, and close all of those Zapier windows, etc., 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 etc. Just keep this clean as much as possible, and probably I should be using like another laptop, well, another desktop. And the cool part about it, you could use another desktop. That's another workshop for me to do, for you guys to quickly understand how to do this. But right now, if let's say, okay, let's see, do I have it here? Maybe I have it here. Okay, so I have it in another browser. So can you go ahead and share and tell me benefits of using LLM locally using LM Studios? So now it will try to kind of get the benefits. You could ask ChatGPT as well if it has this info. So control over data, etc., etc. the benefit of using. So you take that and you literally go back to your Chrome. So your Chrome where you are building this stuff, you just paste that in, then include basically everything from the pill of freedom. So you specify the pill of freedom, you go in and jump into your Notion. So this is Notion. And over here, everything is placed in one spot. You could zoom out a little bit and include the pill of freedom, the Gumroad URL, relevant threads, and then just kind of include this part over here. Boom. Now we got the good to go. And then we're gonna include an example of the video as well. So the video is already actually kind of there. Let's see. So let's say we click on this one. So we're gonna quickly go back here and we're gonna switch between the tab again. And include. Let's see if it's gonna embed. It doesn't do video URL, but let's see if I do TikTok. No, it doesn't do it only does YouTube embedding. So what's gonna happen is this video that I'm creating now is gonna get dropped into YouTube anyway, automatically. And then what I typically do is I include it in the Gumroad over here. For now, it's manually. There is no way you could do this like automatically for unless you use something like browser use that can do that for you, and you could set up this automation like browser use to log in into your Gumroad and construct this kind of right away. So all of this is automatic. So this way you don't have to even log in and do all those steps that I want, what I'm showing you over here. And but the first thing first, what you want to do, you want to kind of compile everything in Notion. And of course, in Notion, there's certain steps that you could automate and other steps you may not be able to. But still, in Notion, you could do things like when the workshop gets created, Pill of Freedom gets created. Um, when you create a thread, Pill of Freedom gets created. And like there's different variations of workflows that you could take. But the easiest way is you start off with like you find something on TikTok or any other place that is trending. You go ahead and you create a thread about it. Then when you create a thread about it, Pill of Freedom gets created. And when the Pill of Freedom gets created, you jump in, you create a workshop describing what that is. And then after the workshop is done, you have a little virtual assistant that reaches out to you and says, "Hey, where would you like this Pill of Freedom to be in?" And you could say, "Well, I want it to be in Freedom Fusion Track Feudal Incubator." And then it would be able to go ahead and update that latest Pill of Freedom that's inside of Freedom Fusion Track. So this is one of the ways of leveraging personalized virtual assistants that can do that. This is just one example for how to like automate this workflow. And there's many other ways to do it, but this is just one of them. Um, right now, I'm just going to go ahead and hit save and continue. And right now, I'm going to go ahead and give the link to the Notion, your Notion thing. Typically, what I like to do is just have everything in one spot. So when I go to this page and I hit share, I go ahead and I hit publish. I publish it. And what I do is I create search engine indexing, discoverable, benefits of using, forget spending money on expensive AI tools. Here's how to use local language models. Local how to use large language models locally. Full full guide and tutorial for business owner for digital moms. So you want to be specific with your audience because you remember as you're developing your brand and your niche, you want to be targeting this for your audience. You want to be hyper focused on your audience. So save changes. Then, so this is all linkable. And of course, site customization. So you could upload certain things over here, upload an image. Um, you could include like threadsbots rag. I built my own threadsbots rag and like publish changes. Now, what I could do is I could kind of take this and share. This page is live. This page is live on this site, and I could view it. Here it is. It's live. It's crawlable now. People can see it. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna quickly make this available in Gumroad over here. Gumroad. So here is the Gumroad. Go here and follow the instructions. So I know it's a lot of steps, guys, but this is how you never want to create a YouTube video and go just talking about stuff and don't do this. Otherwise, you're not getting in emails, you're not growing your communities. Follow this step. Go here, right? So go here, go here, and boom. So right now you publish this, everything is good to go. Now you take that URL, preview. So this is a URL. Then you go back to Notion and you update this thing in Notion. So relevant workshops, Gumroad URL. Boom. You include that. Then you include all of this community. This is relevant for Freedom Fusion Path community. And anytime you do this, like when you set up Freedom Fusion Path, whatever, it drops right away the Pill of Freedom into that community, into that Freedom Fusion Track Feudal Incubator. So once it has those values, like Freedom Fusion Path community, Freedom Fusion Track, boom, the pill gets dropped automatically into Discord. Guys, this is the type of automations you should be working on and building. Purpose, you want to definitely include purpose to help moms save money on on large language models. Okay, so if you feel like, oh, you know what, I want to actually I updated this thing further, and you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'll update this again. So you could do it this way, like this. You could go back and update it again. So this way you have people see the skeleton structure. So this way they see that you have been putting value into it, and they know what kind of program, what kind of buy link, all that stuff they know. And when they see that your YouTube video, which by the way, another automation is gonna kick in, that's gonna automatically take that video. It's going to upload it to Google Drive. From Google Drive, it's going to get uploaded to YouTube. All of that is happening through Zapier. So, and by the way, I am working on another automation that will take viral blooper, like viral. It will cut the video in multiple parts and create automatically chunks from the viral movements and include that as a short videos, all using local as well, using local file splitter. So this is something that I talk about that as well. I have a script over here, so it's called PowerShell. Windows, if you go to Power Automate, it's another tool that you could run locally. Don't need to spend any money on that. And of course, what you do, you open that up and it says I'm currently editing. So if I click on this tool, there's a little PowerShell file. This PowerShell file is running on my computer. This is the file. You could also get it from my GitHub. So what this file does, and I'll quickly show it to you if you go to my link in the bio that link / Freedom Fusion System. If you go to my GitHub, and you could download this file in this repositories. It's basically a viral video clipper. And what this thing does, it will split the actual file itself. So if you look at this information over here, you could load it up. The way it works is you put a file in a Google Drive. So if you go to Google Drive, so let's say you have Google Drive, you mounted it that, and what it's going to do is actually here's my Google Drive, and here's the folder, test folder. So if I go to test folder and I upload a file over here, it automatically takes that file and moves it to another folder, test folder 1, and converts it into small chunks. So the way it works is it splits the big file into smaller chunks. Now, then that file is what you could use right away to upload to your social media platforms. To upload things across multiple social media platforms, you could use something like MyMarquee, Metric Cool. If you guys want to set it up and need help, hit me up, subscribe. I'll help you get that set up on my FUD. It definitely, if you're my customer, our Fluid Infusion System customer will help you set this up as well. So this way you could generate many different pieces of content right away, and it just gets uploaded right away across all of your socials. So this way you don't have to worry about it. So there's a couple of, as you can see, all of those things are prepared. I'm just gonna hit schedule, schedule. It all flies across my socials with already my brand image, etc. And people just see it on TikToks across all those platforms. And I don't really have to do anything. It's just kind of flying around and letting people know that this is what we do. I could go ahead and generate more posts, go ahead and do it. It's generating on a background based on my individual profile, based on my brand profile. It's it's still generating. If I kind of show you what this is, it includes the information, call to actions, all those details. And I could kind of include the empath on my Insta to get Freedom Fusion system, the empath on my Insta to learn more about Freedom Fusion content. Then I could include the empath on my Insta to learn more about Freedom Fusion track. So all of this everything's following into one funnel, the word path. And when somebody DMs the word path on my Insta, it goes, a bot responds, and the bot connects to Freedom Fusion system, and everything is streamlined. All the posts are already organized, everything across multiple calendars. Everything is just kind of super easy for you to interface with and interact. And of course, it goes across multiple socials. Account changes detected, changes were detected in your account, which may affect generate new posts. Okay, that's fine. I could do that, but right now 6 post loading, business, etc., etc., etc. Right? Themes, you could create your own themes, etc. Guys, if you need help setting this up, hit me up, subscribe into my community. It's free. You could get into my FUD profile. It's free, and if you go here, FUD community, and of course, let me know. And if you use my affiliate link, I'll help you set it up. So this way you hit the ground running. This tool is free, but I highly recommend you use multiple kind of socials. I highly recommend you use the paid version because you could connect it across multiple socials. In my case, I'm not using paid version because I'm using several other tools that I'm paying for other reasoning that may not be a good reasonings for you to use. Like I'm using a captions tool to generate avatars and blast them across socials. And I prefer to pay for that other tool versus like having all those other socials. Then because I don't have fully developed other socials. So in your case, it may be different. So which is what I highly recommend. You get the start off with free version, and then basically set up all of your paid ones, because that way you'll get then just pay the monthly, and you'll be able to connect it across all the other socials, and it will just generate things, and you'll get more leads this way. So you're investing in your business versus just kind of like putting it off, and then once it happens, everything is gonna get kind of, if you go to TikTok, it's gonna get automatically uploaded, etc. So um, over here, they're always coming up with some sort of drag the slider to fit the puzzle. Okay. Okay. Well, that is very interesting. It's a lamp. It's a lamp. Boom. So those are the avatars that I was talking about earlier. Those are the avatars, etc., etc., etc. But if I go here, guys, if I go to the last thing that I wanted to do is I want to take kind of just show you how those my marquee videos look. Every time the video gets posted, boom, 92 views, 97 views, 97 views. That's all kind of happening on the background. Imagine having 97 people in your house. Is that a lot of people? That's how much value this thing provides, guys. So, and imagine doing this across socials, multiple TikTok accounts. How much value would get out of it? If you want help setting this up, definitely go ahead and book a call with me. Go to freedomfusionsystem.com. tell me what your business need is, go to intro form, fill it out over here, and literally like specify the time, pick a time on the calendar, book a call, select like the time, include whatever you're interested in. We'll sit down, we'll come up with a plan, the roadmap for you to help you accelerate your business. Now, this is pretty cool, but the main thing here is this with this viral splitter, it's very easy to use Power Automate. Take a look at my previous workshops where I talk about Power Automate, how to set this up, how to literally run this with your browser. So this way you don't have to spend any money on any kind of other SaaS tools and just run this. And what this is going to do is going to clip content automatic. Right now, this is just clips content into smaller clips, but I'll show you later how to interconnect this to a local large language model to find and identify viral clips inside of your transcript and then be able to uh, clip those individual movements and create files out of them. So this way you don't have to spend money on tools like Opus or whatever and just run this quickly. So you hit the ground running and of course run LLMs locally. Now to do this, what you do, you kind of after you create the workshop, right? You log in into your buy link over here and you modify this. And once again, this is free buy link. I use it extensively. You log in and you include a link. So over here, you say run LLMs locally, right? And then you include that right away. And then you go to uh, Gumroad. Then you go to this link, preview. And then over here, you take this. And so run LLMs locally, save money. And then over here, picture, you include save money. Okay, boom. So now I take this and then I include that like this. And basically what you could do is like maybe show your ideal customer profile, grow leads for digital moms to get DM path on my Insta, etc. So, or actually even like this. And now you could include this as well in your Gumroad, kind of include that like this. So this is cool. Also, you could include other things as part of from your other. If you have a buy me coffee because you want people to buy you coffee as well. So what you want to do is you go back to products and you find something like this one, Tresbots Rag, right? And with your previous product where you created stuff, and you just quickly uh, include the additional information from your product relevant to, let's see, so here's cover letters. Here's information about buy me coffee, right? So you can include this like footer for yourself. And this way you save just changes or whatever and just go back to uh, your threads, your run LLMs locally and quickly modify this. So we're going to take this, edit. Let's see, run LLMs locally, affiliate. Boom. Presented by. So if you like what you see, enjoy the mission, don't hesitate to tip or buy Ron Well some coffee. So you include that and you're good to go. You hit save changes. Now that's all you have to do, guys. And sooner or later, you're going to get a lot of people going in right now. What you want to be doing, you want to be providing free value, giving information for free. Then once you're going to have a lot of people joining, what you're going to be doing is you want to be using email nurturing campaigns in your Freedom Fusion system to reach out to those people and inviting them to other workshops that you're doing and collabing with them and basically seeing if they want to be customers for anything else. So this is how you nurture your leads. Maybe some of them want to be connected with brands. Maybe some of them want to be making money doing automations. Maybe some of them want to be um, joining some of those other workshops. So that's the idea for how you could quickly create the community, providing free value, and how to do this in a way that just really stands out. And of course, right now that everything is kind of packaged, all those products are neatly packaged, run on LLMs locally. Uh, I'm using Gumroad, I'm using Notion, I'm using all sorts of different things. The other thing that you could include over here and kind of go back to Notion and update your tech stack to kind of explain what exactly where you're focusing on, specifically as part of this whole thing. So over here, I focused on LM Studio, talked about Open Web UI. I talked about I could perhaps create another field called LLM, but I prefer to just include this in tech stack and just include DeepSeek and just include something Gumroad, Notion. So this kind of gives context right away and helps people understand what this workshop is all about. Open router. So this way when they see it, they'll be like, oh, okay, there's lots of tools being covered. I quickly covered N8N. I quickly showed Docker. So all of those different things, something that I mentioned. And right now, I'm filling them manually. Of course, there's a way to kind of do this automatically, but the idea here, guys, for now, just run with it manually and then later automate this as much as possible with your N8N virtual assistant who's going to reach out to you and say, hey, what kind of tech stack do you want me to include here? Based on the conversation we had, it looks like you were talking about DeepSeek, you were talking about Gumroad, you were talking about Notion, etc. Would you like me to include this as part of your tech stack? And it would just do it, all of that, right? It could respond to you in chat. It could respond to you in voice. Uh, the sky is the limit, guys, in terms of how far you're going to be adjusting your chatbots, your voice agents, etc. But I think this is a good explanation of everything that's happening. So once again, guys, if you wanted to, let's say you updated this and you wanted to update this a little bit further, you include this here, and then you update this again. So I know I'm coming back multiple times, but I'm showing you in real time how to actually build this value. Many of you guys saying, I don't know how to build the value, I don't know how to make money. This is how you make money, guys. So once people start coming in, you start charging them. After you after you bring them to your free offers, they're going to see how much value you're bringing and they actually want to sign up and be your mentee or be interested in having automations done by you or by your side hustlers that you squabbled up with, etc., etc., etc. So the sky's the limit, guys, but you gotta provide that value and never ever do a YouTube video or any kind of workshop unless you do this technique over here that I just showed. This way, you are no longer be like a process prisoner. You're gonna have all of everything organized. Later on, you could offload this thing from your buy link and move it to other link like Linktree. But don't be process prisoner to the past, thinking like, oh, I gotta preserve all those links. Just keep going forward, keep showing value, and anything that you see that needs to be offloaded to another like Linktree or whatever, you could go to Linktree and have all of this in a Linktree, which is another kind of a place. It's pretty cool. Linktree, I don't know if you guys use Linktree. In fact, um, so if I go to buy that link / Freedom Fusion System, let me see, where is the Linktree? Did I even include this thing here? So this guy, and the cool part about it, it's all embedded as well inside of BuyLink uh, product store. So here, as you can see, product store, here's a link tree. It shows all the stuff. This is where you could package all the stuff inside of Linktree and include it very easy for other people to understand what you offer and organize it. So this way you no longer be in that process prisoner, have clean BuyLink, but initially have like, okay, have a buy link, show like what you're focusing on, and then move it to the other one, move it to your link tree. Of course, emphasize and tell that to the people who are watching you in your community. So this way they fully understand where your link tree is. So, and over here, of course, our Freedom Fusion System products store. This is how you want to do it. This is how you organize your information. Anyway, guys, if you are interested in this, go ahead, subscribe to me, maybe buy a coffee if you feel like you're getting a lot of value. Um, but yeah, take action, guys, and start building your pills of freedom. And I'll see you next time. And hopefully you start using this large language model to do things. Before we do anything, next, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna close the Power Automate. I'm just gonna close the, I'm gonna take this LM Studio that I just showed you, and I'm gonna quickly see if we could eject it. So LM Studio, let me just kind of open that, and it's open. I'm gonna go ahead and eject it. Boom. Reload last used model, ejected. Now let's see, did we free up the memory? I'm gonna go ahead and check the memory. Guys, this is what's going on. So memory is at 87%. Uh, it's not ejected yet fully. Maybe it's still going through the process. It's lowering itself. Is it lowering? So there's like TTL time period of 60 minutes, but it looks like it's going down by 1%, etc., etc. So it's lowering itself down. The GPU wasn't, there is a way to offload it to GPU, and to CPU, there's some ways to play with the settings as well. Then we could probably look at those things, but the most important part for you is to understand how to do this on a command line level, guys. First, once you understand how to do it on a CLI level, then you want to take that locally and start interfacing locally with it using command line interface. So this way you don't have to even pay for the desktop tool either. So the desktop tool was all nice, but it's slow. And of course, it could be not necessarily because of the desktop tool itself. It could be just the fact that my system is running slow. It could be other external factors like it's not running through CLI. It could be whatever the case may be. So the idea here, guys, is slowly begin adapting some of those tools, slowly begin using those LLMs, and slowly begin. Later on, what we're going to do, we're going to probably take that. We're going to use Cursor to see if you could tap into the local model and build some, like ask basic questions. So right now, I'm just gonna quickly close this. And as you can see, it's still loaded over here in memory. So I'm gonna try to bring the memory down. I'm gonna close all of those rack systems. Everything is closing down like this. Um, leave all that. And of course, guys, if you want to see how I set up all this Docker and everything, see my previous workshops for how to set up your own N8N environment. Everything is kind of closing down. Keep something in mind, as soon as this workshop is finished, it's going to get dropped automatically into YouTube. I don't have to worry about that automation. It's just happening in the background. Uh, all of this kind of stuff is just happening. I'm just closing everything down, closing all of those different windows. Later, I'll show you how to use different Windows monitors and how to use different virtual computers as well. So if you have a couple of Windows monitors, that's great. And we're going to try to take some of those clips that we're generating and creating, and basically creating a bunch of automatic clips, dropping them on YouTube, that kind of stuff. We're going to talk about that as well. And of course, this is just an example of how I troubleshoot things. I'm going super fast, guys. You could do it too. It's not hard. You just need to kind of understand how all of those systems are interacting with one another, and then just have a couple of things going like Google Drive up and running, have a couple of automations, Zapier up and running, learn basic commands like on a CLI level, learn how to interface with PowerShell, learn how to interface with command line interface, you learn how to use a curl, kind of, you'll learn all of those different things when you join the Feudal Incubator in more details. And of course, you could learn, you could implement this for your business and for your needs. Of course, I have some API keys from my um, you know, OpenAI. So, but so today you've seen a lot of value, guys. Today you've seen a lot of tools. So try to start using those tools as fast as possible. And of course, over here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just close this uh rag thing, right? But ideally, you just want to be able to kind of load things on demand. I'll show you how to load things on demand from shortcuts. So this way, right now, for example, as you can see, I created this Power Automate thing, and it's just kind of listening. It's waiting for the folders for that test file folder for me to drop. Once I drop something in there, guess what? It's going to start it's going to start running certain library and converting things um, using FFmpeg library to convert big files into small chunks. And of course, all of this information is getting dropped into Slack. And as you can see, automatically, it's all getting dropped into Slack. Uh, and yeah, and bills of freedom also getting dropped in a Slack. So when I'm doing digital marketing workshops, it's getting dropped into Freedom Fusion Digital. When I'm talking about Freedom Fusion content, it gets dropped into Freedom Fusion content. Slack has 90-day period, so it's free, but it has 90-day period where after 90 days you won't be able to see anything. So that's why you gotta have something like Notion where you could tap into it. I'm gonna try to do some other workshops where I'll show you how to integrate with Notion your RAG and be able to interface, like communicate with Notion and ask all sorts of questions. But Notion has its own AI. I highly recommend you just use Notion's AI to interface with all sorts of models, etc. And over here, you could kind of see the memory. We could see the performance like, mm, okay, okay. So I think we killed like lots of different pieces to save some memory. There's still something eating up uh, some of it. So I'm gonna just end 45%. This one is access denied. VMM WSSL, I have to see what that is. But it looks like, yeah, I think we all said Zoom is the only one that's kind of eating eating it further, and Slack is already kind of killing it too. So if I killed it there, so I kind of killed it a lot of them. And I think this is still 43% memory. Let's see. Docker backend is running it as well. So LM Studio is running. I'm gonna end that. Power Automate is running. Some of those scripts I made it run automatically, like on the Power Automate when the computer starts. So ideally, guys, you want to be doing all those things inside of Docker, isolating things inside of Docker, and just making things easier. So this way, you don't have to deal with it. So vmem WSSL. I could do this real quick. vm WSL and Chrome, and I'm gonna open that up. GPT. What is So this is Windows. Oh yeah, yeah. So yeah, so I did schedule the VMM cells, a virtual machine process that runs on your Linux distribution inside of WC. The Lightwell for Linux kernel. Why does it use so much? W dynamically allocates resources to the VM-based images. If you're running a heavy process inside of WSL, like Docker server big trip, it might spike a CPU RAM shutdown. Stop WSL when not in use, or just close all Linux terminal. So CMD. Okay, let's see. So we could probably set the limit, guys, for in a Docker for this thing, but let's see. Memory is still uh 40 a lot of gigabytes, so we could set it in any file, process 2, etc., etc. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna probably head out. I'll take a look a little bit further. maybe what I'll do is kill the Docker. So Docker, oh, Docker desktop district terminated abruptly. Okay, so that was Docker. I kind of knew it. Uh, okay, quit. We're gonna quit Docker. You kind of want to shut everything off, guys, when you're dealing with all those things to run your computer on a regular basis. If I was you, I would have like totally isolated environment in Docker, and have kind of separated computer from your regular computer on a regular basis to use it. Uh, so this way you could kind of have it fully dedicated to run all of your large language models, etc., and then have another computer that you could interface with on a regular basis and can interact with. But at least you can have it all running it locally and not spending money on any of the AI tools. But you would still have to have a computer. In my particular case, I do have a very powerful desktop. Right now, I'm on a Windows. So I'll probably do that on a other desktop to just run those very heavy load models and just be able to interface with them directly quickly. That will be this way I'll be able to solve that problem very efficiently and without spending a lot of money on a monthly basis for any of those API tools. And of course, we'll accelerate the speed of all of those models as well, uh, using all sorts of other techniques that I'll show you. But for now, the most important part for you guys is to kind of understand why you want to use Docker, why you want to use Open Router, why you want to use why are you building what you're building? That's the first question you got to ask, and understand how to use MCP servers, and understand how to interface with those MCP servers to solve all sorts of problems. And of course, take a look at my browser use and ThreadsBot's RAG videos on YouTube, where I literally show you how to like build your own browser use kind of use cases where it just flies around, gets leads for you, uh, profiles people on threads, comes back to you, all sorts of crazy things. So definitely, guys, that's what you want to be doing. Uh, and definitely subscribe on YouTube as well. You're gonna learn like insane amount of information, guys. Insane amount of information, more than in any other community that you'll find, simply because what you see me do, you see me work on my business. You see me work on my business in real time, and I'm showing you exactly what I'm exploring in real time. So this way you could learn as well. This is different than anything else that you see out there where people just create one small snapshot videos specifically talking about one topic and one topic only. No, I don't do this. I go off tangent, left, right, everywhere, and in between. Why? Because that's the reality of the business world that we live in today. You have to know and understand all those variables and techniques for how to integrate with all those different tools and how to drop across multiple platforms and how to adapt and vary your thinking across multiple high cardinality heterogeneous complexities. Not doing so puts you in danger of being extinct and puts you in danger of being a TikTok zombie, watching constantly one particular video, being in a small set, or should I say, a subset of a bigger set, not recognizing the feudal need and feudal want of the feudal lords that you're going to be serving, and who are going to be needing the services that you're providing to them, who are looking for hybrid skilled side hustlers, who are looking for not one trick pony type of side hustler, but somebody who is a freedom founder versus a freelancer. So if you guys want to learn how to become a freedom founder versus a freelancer, definitely DM the word path on my Insta. And to do that, you just go to Instagram over here, open it up, and just message me the word path on my Insta, and you're gonna be good to go. Okay, guys? So do this. Go to my Instagram, message DM path on my Insta, so this way you could get access to my community on FUD. And yeah, and take a look at all this content over here on Instagram as well. You're gonna be blown away by the insanity, like an incredible AI videos. Notice how I'm using combinations of AI automation tools from the ones that I showed you earlier in combination with other kind of custom created videos, etc. Take a look at this video over here. So like this one. So that is kind of funny. But anyway, guys, you're gonna see lots of videos, guys. Explore, see, look at the TikTok channel. If you wanted to read some of my poems, take a look at this one.
Hey, digital faceless marketing moms. I wanted to go ahead and read you this poem called Forever Floating Nevermore poem by Ron Wells, which is a great poem. And I've written it way before it came out. I wanted to go ahead and read it for you. So this way it helps you get motivated in building your very own healing journey. So why don't we go ahead and get started? Forever floating, never know. From time to time, I do research in constant chase for better search, in hopes of finding my own road of satisfying the inner soul. My story truly just bizarre. It's not consistent, yet quite far. Where journey forms in distant star, yet never present, and just scar. The scar of past and inner me from life I lead, yet just don't see. It is the feeling of being distant, from what I've seen, it's somewhat mystic. I often think of planet systems and life on Earth without those systems. I don't know why, yet I still try to discover meaning of this life. Quite far ahead in my own thinking, perhaps some 100 years of thinking, without the reason nor desire to build a life that I admire. I simply want to be in flow, forever floating, never more, like food and floating in the space, forever moving towards a new plane. Now, each parallel dimension that fuels my inner transformation, creating sequences of need to gain in space, less freedom and hate. Where sun is rising, money sizing, in chase of truly what's exciting, yet I am simply just relaxed, without the worries, and on track. Enjoy this writing, be the lead in your own thinking to succeed. It came from aiming towards conclusion that every action must form fusion, excite the others, and rely on freedom taking by your side. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this poem, and I'll see you next time. Take care, and definitely take a look at Trans Booster Guide, guys.
So, guys, now that you've seen this poem, definitely explore it a little bit more. Take a look a little bit more, guys, at all this content. You're quickly going to understand what kind of value I'm providing for you guys. And take a look at this videos like this, chilling with life.
See anybody do that thing you could before. Say, move for me, hey, hey. And when you're done, I'll make you do it all again. I said, oh my God, I see you walking by. My hands, my feet, and look me in my eyes. It's like just one more time.
How do you guys like that as something that is very cool, right? So I learned how to create videos like this, and for that, I have Freedom Fusion Content Feudal Incubator that shows you how to create incredible, powerful videos and get connected with brands. So this way, you could make some money from the brand owners, the feudal lords, on a monthly basis, and get uh, commission as an extra gravy from every additional product that you learn how to sell. And the cool part about it, you could do so by blasting your content across multiple socials and maximizing your chances of selling those products more using Freedom Fusion system as your kind of a way of doing so and simplifying your life, automating your brand, making it easier for your brand to stand out, making it easier for you to blast content across socials without you having to worry about high cardinality, heterogeneous technical complexities. In Freedom Fusion Content Feudal Incubator, this is another one of the coaching programs, is where before I head out, I kind of just wanted to let you know that if you wanted to join this program, we do have a feudal hustler who is being onboarded right now, who will be able to lead you and help you learn how to create fire videos like this, how to blast yourself across multiple socials, uh, this is something blasting across multiple socials is covered in like in Freedom Fusion track and Threads Booster, but Freedom Fusion content is covered in like how do you create videos, how do you get them to stand out, how do you connect with feudal lords, how do you maximize your chances of working together with some of those brands and making money on a as a retainer, monthly retainer. How do you do this on TikTok Shop? What is the best way for you to create TikTok Shop? What is the best way for you to make money faster versus being process prisoner and wondering and pondering how to create those videos? What kind of tools can you use to go ahead and create those videos? how to do it faster. All this stuff is what Freedom Fusion content is all about. This is where we connect moms with feudal lords, side hustling moms with feudal lords. This is where also moms get access to the Freedom Fusion system and everything that you've seen inside of that Freedom Fusion system that I showed earlier. And of course, this will maximize your chances of having your own store, like your stand store alternative, without you having to spend any money. It will maximize your chances of your content um, being uh, literally blasted across all those different places. Freedom Fusion content is everything you need in terms of learning how to create content for the feudal lords, including yourself, and making some extra money on TikTok Shop, or in the cases where you don't even need to sell, where you just get very good in creating videos and then you publish them to the feudal lords. If they say, yep, we like the content, then they take that video and they use it in their brand, and you get a monthly retainer from them. And you get monthly retainer plus commission as an extra gravy. And that's the program that I was talking about earlier. That's the program that if you go to freedomfusionsystem.com and go to like the talent agency, you'll learn more about this program here and all of the mechanics behind what we do in the talent agency. And of course, if you wanted to actually join this program, then I do have content review. This is where you get to drop your content review. We get to analyze your videos. You get to this is where you can register for a workshop. So just hit the spot. I want to reserve my spot. And this is where you get access to our Discord. This is where you get a free workshop. You get access to Discord once you get enrolled into Freedom Fusion content, but you get free access to our workshop. It will be run on Zoom, where you could ask all sorts of questions for how to create content on TikTok Shop, how to develop UGC skills, and how to do this across many platforms, not necessarily just TikTok, but others as well. Anyway, guys, that's it for now. If you're interested in this, go to content review or just go to my bio.link and go to this place over here, TikTok Shop for pets and cats. Well, no, like get connected with brands. Let's say TikTok Shop for pet, cats, and tech. No, that's not it. This is, by the way, my TikTok shop for pets, cats, and dogs. Take a look at how we do this, how we create content on that TikTok shop, and do this. But the actual community for you get connected with brands and make money, you could watch this video over here. And print money, this is the workshops for side hustlers. This is the section. This is where you click on here, print money on TikTok shop for free workshop. You click on it and you go here and you register. And I want to reserve the spot. You include your name and you're good to go. And then we'll have a workshop and we'll discuss how you could make money on TikTok shop and how you don't even have to sell with other platforms. You could watch this video. We do those workshops quite regularly. I just need to update the date. The date is off. It should be a different date. I'll include that a bit later. But anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this. I'll see you next time and take care.